Hey, Xiomy here. So today I wanted to do a spoiler-free review on a book that I recently just read and really fell in love with. And the book that I'm talking about is Windwitch by Susan Dennard. I'm going to be very vague with the synopsis just because this is a sequel in the installment. This is called the Witchland series. Now, if you, for some odd reason, like I did, picked up Truthwitch and really didn't pick up Windwitch, even though you were really anticipating the book, but you just decided to put it to the side, I suggest for you to stop whatever you're doing and pick this book up because it is very good. It is a very wonderful sequel and I really did enjoy it. So without further ado, let's get into the spoiler-free review. In my experience reading this book, it was such a fun and wonderful, thrilling experience to read about. I gave this book 5 glorious stars because I couldn't give it any less. I didn't find anything wrong with it, and I love the fact that you get continuous world building. In the first book, you had so much information thrown to you. In this one, it further throws information into you, especially about the Car Arwen and what are basically they're supposed to do. And that's something that there are the things, a lot of questions that were also sparked within this book that I cannot wait for them to be answered, especially about things that were said in the first book and things that are transpiring in this one, which it makes it for a thrilling experience because you're on a sort of guessing game and you're like, okay, what's going to happen next? I also love the fact that you have excellent writing. I love the writing. The writing to me was impeccable. I really did enjoy it so much. Also with the characters, you have so much character development, and it was something that was so wonderful to envision. The one that I can mention to you is Safi. If you read the first book, Sophia is very much of a reckless. She's a hothead. She goes first into situations, doesn't really think about them. And in this book, you get so much character development from her. You get so much backstory from other characters, or at least bits and pieces from other characters. You also get the introduction of new characters that were mentioned in the first book, but you get further information from them. And that was something that was very brilliant to include because you got to see them in a different light, or at least in a light that I wasn't expecting to see them. There are also characters that I really sided with, characters that I really wanted a lot of wonderful things to happen to them. So that's why this book, I really connected to it a lot because it is very character driven. I have to admit that I also fangirled. I fangirled a lot with this book, and I shipped a couple that I never ever in a gazillion years thought that I was going to ship in the first book, and I shipped them in this one. The point of views in this book was very wonderfully told, and I really did enjoy every single one of them. You can't tell who's who regardless as to whether they are mentioning their names because every single one of them is very different and very unique, and they all have their different attributes to bring to the table. What I did enjoy is, like I mentioned, that other points of views were introduced from the first book, and I thought that was very incredible to include. Also, you get their different journeys because they've all been separated. They're all in different situations, and even though they do want to eventually get together and see what's happening to their friends, it was very enjoyable that it wasn't settled that instantly. It wasn't settled that quickly. They're still thrusted in an adventure. They're still going to their different directions. It's very driven in friendship and how, you know, you ally with one person or how you partner with them. And even though you know that these people are your enemies, it becomes something more than that. And I also enjoy Sophia and Isolde. There are threads that unite them, that bond them together. They are friends. What I enjoyed about this book is that they discover it's something bigger than them. That even though that they are in different paths, they have to eventually merge into one, and that is saving this world or their world. And that's something that I have to admit was very brilliantly told. The plot is just really amazing because you do get subplots of different journeys or adventures that they're going in, and like I mentioned, right when they think that they can take a breather, they can't. They're thrusted into another direction, and that's something that I really enjoyed about this book because it gives you that suspense, it gives you that action. And I've heard people that say that this book drags, and in my case it did not drag. At least I didn't visualize it like that. I'm a person that I reread certain chapters over and over again because they were just so thrilling and so enjoyable, and it's just so many different things that are happening to them that you can't wait, or you can't be proud enough to root for them. And that's something that I really did enjoy. But I think that's it for my spoiler-free review. That's all I'm going to mention. Like I said, if you have not picked this book up, I highly suggest for you to pick it up because it is very amazing and it's wonderful. And even though you do have more questions that are sparked in this book, it is a very thrilling and enjoyable book, and I shipped a couple of people. I enjoyed everything about it, and I just can't stop gushing over it. So I want to thank you for watching, and until next time, peace.